Alright, got our JustPlay practice app after the end of Meetup 3. What I'm going to do here is click into my view, go down here to Resolve Auto Layout Constraints, click Clear Constraints. It's going to clear all the constraints in the view. I'm going to reset these because we're going to be adding some new UI objects. So I'm going to set those in the corners. I want to use the blue lines. The blue lines are your friend. Now I'm going to add a label. I'm going to put my label at the top. I'm going to use these blue lines right here. I want to make this 30. Then I'm going to reselect it and hit Command =, to size to fit content. Get those blue lines again. I'm going to stretch this all the way to fill my view. I'm going to center the label. I'm going to do lines, 0 lines. And what else? We're going to add an image view. Image view, I'm going to add this in the center. I'm going to stretch this out to the blue line, stretch this out to these blue lines here, and this one all the way down to that blue line. Now I'm going to add my constraints for the label. I'm going to control click to the view on top space to layout, to top layout guide. Again, control click leading space to container margin, and same thing over here, trailing space to container margin. And I'm also going to go down here to align, and I'm going to center it horizontally in the container, add the constraint. Do something similar with this image view. I'm going to control drag to the label, add vertical spacing, control drag to the view, leading space to container margin, trailing space to container margin, and bottom space to layout guide. Now I'm going to do the same thing with my pause and next buttons, leading space, and we gotta kind of get it down here somewhere, and then it'll, there you go, bottom space to bottom layout guide, and do the same thing with next. Trailing space, and kind of get it down here, and bottom space. Now I'm going to do one more thing, click on next and go to my pause. You could do it vice versa, and I'm going to align their baselines. Alright, one thing with this image view for in the attributes inspector, under the view mode, aspect fit. Alright, that should be good. Now let's get our code all hooked up. I have some pre-written code here in the code snippet library. First is the code for my image view outlet, and then I can control drag from the image view, and that should hook up. Looks like there's a little bug. Up there it goes. And then for my label, there should appear a little blue. Let's see. It's not appearing. Anyways, you could control drag from this into the label. For some reason it's not appearing. So we're going to control drag from the label to here. And that should have created the connection, and yes, it did. Alright, so that hooks up our image view and our label. Now I want to add some code down here. So if I check and my music player is playing, I want to set the artwork. I want to set the image view to the artwork of the now playing item, and that's what this code does. And then I want to set the label to the title of the song. And that's what this does. Notice here I added this question mark. So in case that the song the now playing item doesn't have artwork, our app won't crash, because this says if it doesn't have it, don't do this. But if it does, do this. All right, lastly, I want to unhide the image view and the label, so I'd actually go in here and I would hide these on launch. And then I'm also going to add this code for when we hit the next button. We're going to do the same thing. We're going to set the artwork, and we're going to set the label. All right, so that should be all.